Hey, welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. Well, I had this title down, my title, not Beth's title. She will work out what will attract the best attention. That's her job. But I was looking at it, and my note was being at war in the Philippines, and it's inspired by the fact that there has recently been a kidnapping, which has people very concerned, and now people thinking, oh well, they can't come to the Philippines. The Philippines is 7,000 or more islands, 7,000, and they're all different. Some big, some small. We met someone from one of the very much smaller islands that I know of, and that was, I think, Puerto Galera, and he was an American. Met a lady with a family of 3 or 4 children, if I remember rightly, and he was going to live on a small island. And I remember going to that island quite a few years ago, and it was white beaches strewn with coconuts. And I remember thinking then, if there is such a stereotypical paradise, this would be it. But the purpose of this kind of talk is about if you're an expat and you're coming out here, then you are going to have to make a lot of changes, and if you can make the changes that will ensure you a happy, peaceful life, you will be that much better off. Now, I thought, how would you get through a day in the Philippines? So getting through a day in the Philippines without being at war. So really the title should be not being without war rather than at war. But what you do is, when I go out, I actually make a conscious effort to not look as if I'm at war. Because one of the things that I notice on several foreigners, from whatever nationality, I don't know these people when I see them, and the one thing that I notice is that they always look angry, and so people pick this up. They see this. They know that there is war going on inside of that person, and they're afraid of doing that. There's one parts place that I go to for car parts, and they asked me, do you know that person? And I said, actually yes I do. We're not friends, but yes, I know him as an acquaintance. And they said, when they realized that I was not pro that person, they said, the owner of the parts store said, when my girls see him coming, they hide. And that's because a person can show what is behind the eyes. You know, what's that old saying that the eyes are the windows to the soul? And if it's a troubled soul in there, if you are at war with yourself, it won't be long before you connect that war to whoever you talk to. All that business about, well, I just had an argument with so-and-so, I don't know, he just made me mad. Well, no, so-and-so didn't make you mad. The mad was already there, and all that you did was you just found a way to express it. And for those who like to think that they tell the truth, it may be the brutal truth, but I'll tell you the brutal truth. So if you don't want the truth, don't ask me. Usually those people enjoy the brutal part more than the telling the truth part, and the truth becomes highly subjective anyway, so it really is only your problem. So how do you get through a day? How do you not be at war? You have to use tricks which make your face adopt the expression which would be which would be appropriate for the innermost thought in your mind. Think of good news. Think of that somebody out there is actually going to be very pleasant to you. That the next person that you see, you're going to be able to smile at them and it not mean anything more than you being friendly. Now, I think more than any place that I've ever been in the world, and I've traveled quite a lot, Africa, Europe, all over the British Isles, of course, and a lot of America. I've been to, not to India, but to Pakistan, which of course used to be India anyway. Just a ton of different places that I've been to, and people are varyingly friendly. But in the Philippines, a smile is, like, I think, is kind of like the currency to paying for a good day experience. And you pay your membership to this club of good feeling with a smile. Now, it's not one of those where you have to do the maniac smile like that. It's not a Burt Lancaster smile, but you can do a Mona Lisa smile. Don't have to have the makeup on or the arms folded, but you can do that little smile, and especially with the eyes. And if you do that here, man, woman or child will respond to that, and they'll respond kindly. And after a while, you may have to make an effort on the first one. After that, it's real easy, and there's not a war in sight. So you can get through a day here without getting into an argument. You should avoid arguments. I saw this from one piece of advice given by yet another subscriber on another channel that was reporting on that terrible incident of kidnapping that happened on Mindanao very recently. Well, not enjoying being at war is a big plus. Not going to places that are at war and staying away wherever you are from those places which are likely to deteriorate as the night goes on. And of course, call me against alcohol. You can cite me as being against alcohol. I'm not against alcohol, but what I am wary of and stay away from is places where alcohol may have its domino effect. So it's going to start with one drink, and then it's going to escalate to another drink, and then we're forgetting about social drinking, and it's a third drink, and then it starts to get into more of how much can you actually drink and not fall down with. And as soon as you get to those situations, you're at risk. In the Philippines, I think it's fair to say that you are at risk. So stay away from places and situations where you're not going to be at risk. And if it's a bar, karaoke, stay for the first part when everybody's feeling good and mellowing, but not losing it, which alcohol tends to make you do. Okay, you start to think thoughts which are not your own, or which you can discipline as a rule, and then it's all downhill from there. So, smile, have fun. Look at the way that people around you are actually joyful. In the Philippines, it always amazes me that people with so little will be obviously having fun in life. And now that's a secret we could all do with learning. If you're a foreigner, come over here. You don't have to have a huge amount of money. You have to have enough for your lifestyle that you choose. But boy, there's a lot to learn and you got to start early, as soon as your feet go on the ground, in fact. This is a foreigner in the Philippines, and bye for now.